So today is Thursday, and we call this Follow-Up Thursday for a reason, where you guys hit us up and you're like, Bert Show. You usually go to thebertshow.com. Hey, whatever happened to blankety blank blank? We do the homework, and we give you guys updates and some closure today on Follow-Up Thursday.
All right, so Karen was upset that her husband got a Valentine's Day card for his work wife. So she reached out to us because she was upset. She found a Target bag in the closet with Valentine's gifts, including a card for her, but the bag also contained a mass-produced work wife Valentine's Day card for his female coworker. Yeah, apparently they make these. She never had a reason to be jealous until finding this card. Now, the majority of us agree that this was inappropriate, suggested she have an honest conversation with him. Karen confronted him by putting the card on the kitchen island while he was eating breakfast. Her husband initially got mad at her for snooping, and then he tried to dismiss the card as just a joke. The tension between the two progressed. Karen was unsure of how to move forward. So what ultimately did she do?
The update. Hi, Bert Show. I've been chewing on what happened after we last spoke for a while, so I'm happy to share an update because I need to know if I'm just overreacting. Because somehow this whole Valentine's Day, quote-unquote, work wife situation got even worse. But everyone's acting like I'm being crazy. My husband and I were fine after I ripped up the card. We weren't lovey-dovey or anything, but I knew we would come around and have a real conversation about what had happened and why I felt so strongly about this whole work wife on Valentine's Day thing. Well, I didn't get the chance because the next day, my husband brought home a card from Mrs. Work Wife addressed to me. He genuinely apologized for not listening to me and told me that when he let his work wife know that he had planned on gifting her a joke card for Valentine's Day, she sided with me. She even told me he was being thoughtless. Sounds great, right?
Yeah.
I felt so relieved and accepted his apology. Then I opened the card. The card was a cheeky, quote-unquote, happy divorce themed card where Mrs. Workwife had taken the time to write a sarcastic petition for an office divorce from my husband. At the very end, she wrote, quote, "And happy Valentine's Day from this quote-unquote ex to his real wife, who deserves all the flowers from her husband that I know loves her very much."
Man, she's being an ally, big-time ally here.
Does this sound cute? Because it really annoyed me. The entire card was chock full of little inside jokes between them, random bits of information she included about him, like his favorite snack that he eats midday, how he always hums the theme song to Breaking Bad, and that he always signs off on emails with best. She even wrote out his middle name so that she could sign it for their fake divorce. My husband claimed she was trying to make a joke, but I sincerely think she was asserting her dominance. We get it. You know my husband. Why are you making it so weird? This inevitably became another argument with my husband, who thinks I'm totally overreacting. But how would you feel if you were in my shoes? Now I'm not even certain that I do trust her around him. Best, Karen.
I love that she signed it best, like her husband. All right, so I validate everything you're feeling. I would be feeling the same way. However, I do think the quote-unquote work wife was trying to make a joke of stuff and was trying to smooth it over and thought, let's do this and this we'll move past it, whatever. Jokes are subjective. One person might find a joke hilarious. Another person might find it extremely offensive. And I think that's the case we got ourselves in right now. But at this point, I feel like you just need to dismiss the work wife, not have anything else to do with her, and just focus on the relationship with your husband.
Yeah, I think the smarter thing for the work wife or the ex-work wife for her to do, she should have just backed up and not made a bigger deal out of this. But I think for whatever reason, you almost want him, you want to catch him in something, because I think it would be easier or more comfortable than living in this kind of ambiguity of, is something going on? I can't tell if something's going on. He's saying nothing's going on, but it feels like something's going on. So I feel like you have this confirmation bias where you're seeing this little card that she's given you, and because you want that ambiguity to go away, you almost want to believe that there's something going on because that'll make that discomfort go away. But I think you're just looking for reasons to start a fight so you can get rid of that discomfort. So I think you got to take a deep breath. I think you need to make a therapy appointment and have an objective outside mental health professional look at this, because I think you're making a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you to do something that dudes do all the time, which is very difficult for a woman to do. Take this at face value. There might not be anything else there. It is right in front of you. She's breaking up with your husband. I didn't read it as passive aggressive until the email went on.
I'm honestly shocked that the husband even brought it to his wife. I feel like I would have saw that as something that was going to make it worse and wouldn't even have done it.
Well, see, and that's where I wouldn't be so much mad at her because she doesn't know you like that. But your husband should know you.
You would think.
Your husband should know what kind of joke you can and cannot take. So when he received that from his work wife, he just should have thrown it away instead of bringing it home for you to read.
Right.
If he really knew his wife, he would know this ain't going to go over well with her.
Right.
The Bert Show.